You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
If that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of. But others are dying here, needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
So you don't normally treat the wounded, then?
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg, someone who'd been kicked by a cow or bitten by a goat. But this, I've never dealt with the carnage of battle before.
If only it had been a battle. This was cold-blooded slaughter.
You were there? God be merciful to you and the dead and the wounded.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith, but I have been around the wounded before. What do I do if I'm not sure of the treatment?
Come and speak to me. We'll see what we can do.
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
Well, that's true. He comes to visit Johanka, but he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
Thank you. Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
I can't believe your conscience lets you leave the Skalitz locals in such a state.
I know. I'm ashamed. But my brothers believe it's all in God's hands now.
Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world, and the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. Even so, conditions here seem to me quite unchristian.
You're not the only one.
I'd like to learn something from you.
And what can you do?
A bit of everything.
Can you now? But to be more precise, do you understand herbs and medicinal plants?
To be honest, not really.
So what am I supposed to do with you? Well, never mind. At least you'll learn something new. Go to the herb garden, take a good look at what's growing there, and then pull up the weeds in the herbaceous beds. Is that clear?
Clear. I can get cracking.
Not so fast. Have I even told you what I consider a weed? It's dandelions, stinging nettles, and thistles. Those plants have their use, but they've no business growing among the euphrasia and the mentha, or anywhere else in that garden for that matter.
Where is it they're not supposed to grow?
Between the mint and the eyebrights. Once you've cleared the garden of weeds, come back. And woe betide you if you pull up anything but weeds.
Don't worry, you've never had as good a gardener. How do I know which are the weeds?
You see, this is the part where you learn something. Look in the herbarium to find out what a dandelion, stinging nettle, and thistle look like.
I see.
How's it going?
Have you seen a horse running loose? A dappled grey?
I have indeed. Or at least I did see a riderless horse gallop through here. It went too fast for me to be sure of the color.
Where did you see him?
A short distance down the road there's a brook. I was there fetching water when that horse gave me the fright of my life.
And where did he run onto?
Well, he splashed about and then ran upstream into the woods.
Much obliged.
My pleasure. Good luck in your search.
Ah!
Don't come any closer with that horse, you. Enough. I warned you. Quickly.
My respects to you.
God be with you. I found pie for you.
Dear God! What a relief! Between ourselves, he was none too cheap. I don't know what I'd have done if he was gone for good. Here's something for your trouble.
Thank you. Just try not to lose him again.
We'll do our best.
Hey, you. It's forbidden to walk at night here without a light.
Jesus Christ.
I'm looking for a fellow called Riki. Do you know him?
Riki? You mean Hinek, the courier's son?
Maybe. Do you know where I might find him?
He's not usually around here. Try asking at his home. But I hope you've got a thick skin. The old courier ain't exactly charming.
So you know this Hinek. Can you tell me something about him?
Not much, I confess. Most of the village folk avoid him like the plague.
Why's that?
No one with a nose likes spending too much time around tanners, and that Riki keeps bad company. I've never heard a good word said about him.
What can you tell me about the old courier?
He's as cantankerous as a hog in a thorn bush. He won't talk to anyone.
Why do they call Hinek Riki anyway?
He's a tanner, isn't he? If you're ever downwind of him, you'll understand. Tanning isn't a trade for the weak of stomach.
True enough, but not every courier gets cursed with a name like that.
Well, Hinek's nature is no sweeter than his smell.
Why has he got such a bad name?
Well, like his old man, he doesn't talk much to anyone, and then he's always skulking off somewhere. I heard he got a taste of the pillory in Rattay for thieving, and in Neuhof he got boozed up in the alehouse with his cronies, and they beat up some merchants.
So a bit more than high spirits.
Just so. We're all honest folk here, and we've no use for the likes of him.
Don't tell me there's not a single person who talks to him.
He's been seen around with one of the bathhouse wenches. Adela, I believe she's called.
Teresa, the millmaid, sent me. She said you could use some help.
Some extra pairs of hands would be useful. What do you have in mind?
My friends, two survivors of Skalitz, are looking for work.
And why should I take them?
They're experienced carpenters.
Why not? Carpenters would be helpful. There's a lot of work here at the mill, and I'm not as spry as I used to be. Thomas, my foreman, tries his best, but he ain't up to that kind of work. But they aren't idlers and drunks, are they? I only take in people who are willing to do hard, honest work.
I'm from Skalitz, and I know them both personally. They worked in the royal mines, and their master couldn't praise them highly enough.
In the Skalitz mines? That's skillful work. I'll be glad to talk to them. Tell them I'll give them a chance. We'll talk about pay and a roof over their heads when they get here.
My respects to you, sir.
Have you got a bed for them?
Aye, there's room. For how long?
Just the one.
Sure, but let's...
Here you are.
You'll like it here.
What's happening around here?
Ah, you know how it is. Like that sake has started an archery contest here. If you want to try your luck at winning a few groschen, and there's more, now I think of it. I've not seen Cunhutta here for some time. The local herb woman. She always comes here once a week for a tankard of ale. But she ain't turned up recently. I hope nothing's happened to her. Oh, and another thing. Especially at the mill. Not a week goes by without some ruckus there. But I'm wise to them troublemakers. Whenever they're planning some mischief, they're always huddled there in the corner, hatching their plots. Like yesterday, for instance.
Can we do something about...
Naturally.
What do you say?
Wow.
Oh, what can you tell me about this Hinek?
What can I tell you? No, he's not.
Why not?
Well, I'm not one to gossip, but I heard he keeps bad company.
What's the tanner like?
The less I see of him, the better. He's not.
Why do they call him
Why do you think?
So why don't people like...
The old Tanner's not an easy man. But a son should never let his father...
And does no one at all?
That harlot Adela hangs around with him, of course.
Harlot?
She works as a bathhouse wench.
Good God, you look terrible. Did someone attack you?
The miller and Ledechko would be happy to meet you.
You really found work for us?
Of course. couldn't bear to look at those sour faces of yours a moment longer.
Thanks, Henry. Only
What?
the reward we talked about, well, we haven't got 2 groschen to rub together.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. You'll pay me when you have it.
That we will. Stop by and visit us in a week. We'll pay you back as soon as we get our first wage.
Good health to you.
The monastery wants you to pay for treatment. That doesn't sound right.
Leave it be, Howell.
I won't. What happened?
We might have pummeled his face. But don't get involved, Henry. We'll settle it on our own.
Wait, who exactly did you pummel?
Well, he kept on bothering us and... in a nutshell, it was his fault and we're not going to talk about it anymore.
But couldn't there be a way to settle it? Maybe he'd let you off the...
There isn't.
But don't be a twat, Fritz. The 2 of you are up to your necks in shit, and you're gonna play tough instead of seeing sense.
Go to hell, Henry. You and Elias. You're one as bad as the other.
You're good for nothing, you wretch. I'm not the one who's jobless and almost dying of hunger.
Now you've done it.
Fucking hell! Nokuva!
Please! Anyone! There! God! Help! Stop
Miss. What the hell are you doing? Hey, watch it. Folks these days, be a bit more...
I'm not needed here.
The Lord grant you.
I heard you had a fight with Fritz and Matthew.
Heathens.
So it was you they fought with?
Yes, it was me. And I hope I'll never have to see those wastrels again.
They deserve to be ousted, but the debt? How are they ever going to pay it?
I really don't care. Let them live in penury. Brutes.
Isn't that a little unchristian? You wouldn't want personal spite to ruin their lives, would you?
Well, those were just idle threats, really. If they come and apologize, there's always a possibility of forgiveness.
What is it?
Tell me more about...
All right. About your brawl with Elias. Your best friend settled the matter.
You're serious?
Absolutely. All you have to do is go to him and promise you'll pay the debt somehow.
We won't forget this. On my honor. And I'm really sorry about that fight. I was just going out of my mind.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Whose house is this?
It's our local custodians. The most esteemed Sir Sebastian, Baron von Berg.
You don't seem to think very much of him.
But of course I do. A man with a nose so stuck up that it acts as a rain funnel can't be all bad.
What does the custodian do anyway?
Well, he's meant to look after the local community and keep the peace.
But
in fact, he seems more interested in robbing everyone blind.
I'm much obliged.
Don't mention it.
You look bored.
Beyond tears.
How can you be bored here in Sasau, in such a holy place, filled with knowledge?
Don't even talk to me about it. They won't let you touch the books, they don't want to talk to you, and when I wanted to look at the remains of St. Procopius at least, they ran me off. Me! Like some kind of thief. What good is the whole blasted monastery if I can't even do that?
Well, they say there's not much left of poor Procopius.
What's that got to do with anything?
I'm not blaming you. It's just that only monks have access to the reliquary in the crypt. Folk were even taking relics away from St. Procopius' cave for protection before. Now no one's allowed in there.
I know, but I'd never dream of doing that. I just wanted to touch them for luck.
Maybe I could help you.
How? You're not planning some mischief, are you?
No, not at all. I was going to bring you something from the cave under the monastery where he spent his time. You can get in there, you could touch it for luck, and then I'd return it.
Well now. You'd do that for me?
Of course.
Then I'd be very grateful to you.
Jesus, look where you're going.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm helping at the infirmary now, and I came to...
Ah, and how is Johanka? Do you know her well?
Yes, I do.
Good, good. Does she ever talk about me?
I'm mainly here for supplies and to talk about the state of the wounded from Skalitz. They need blankets, food...
Well, that's not my problem. Let the infirmarius take care of it.
His hands are tied. Until the abbot comes back, he can't get anything.
And why should that interest me?
Maybe because of Johanka.
What precisely are you getting at?
Something could happen to her too, someday.
If any ill befalls my dear Johanka, she won't be left...
Because I'll pay you.
For supplies? But of course. That will be...
Oh, come off it. You get your supplies from the monastery for free. No one will bat an eyelid if you ask for more. Blankets can get chewed up by mice. Food can go off. Is this enough?
That's not enough.
Yes. These things happen, certainly. And as long as the monastery needs my protection, they'll have to put up with it.
Just as I thought. There aren't any remains here. Looks ordinary. A bit too ordinary.
Good! Good!
Damn it, I wish I was able to swim.
My respects to you, sir.
I have a bone for you from the remains of St. Procopius.
Truly? Then show it to me.
Behold.
Ah. Is it really from St. Procopius?
Of course. I'd never try to deceive you that way.
You're right. My God, you're right. Such holiness. I'm in your debt, Henry. How can I repay you?
A groschen never hurt.
You've surely earned them. Here, and Henry.
Yes?
I just wanted to touch it for luck. If you took something you shouldn't have, I expect you'll put it back.